In this lesson, I want to look at equivalent fractions. That just means that two fractions have the same value. Equivalent fractions and simplifying fractions are very similar. So let me give you an example. 4/8. I can see both 4 and 8 are even numbers and they're both in the 2 times table. So I can divide the numerator by 2 and I can divide the denominator by 2. So whatever I do to the top number, I have to do to the bottom number. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. Now I can take this a step further. 2 and 4 are both even numbers and they're both in the 2 times table. So I can divide the top number or the numerator by 2, and I can divide the bottom number or the denominator by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now if you look carefully at 4/8, 2/4 and 1/2, these are all equivalent fractions because they're all the same value. So let me try to draw this in a pizza model. So I'm going to split it into quarters. I'm going to halve this and halve it again. And now I need to cut each quarter into 2 equal pieces. So I'm going to find halfway between, go to the middle and keep going. The same thing here, go across. Now I've got 8 equal pieces. I've got eighths. So I'm going to shade in 4 of these eighths. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Or what I can do is split this into quarters, halve it and halve it again, and I can shade in 2 quarters. So I can shade in that quarter and this quarter. So if you look carefully, I've shaded in exactly the same value. So I've got an equivalent fraction. Now finally, I can split this into 2 equal pieces. So let me just go and cut it in half. There's the center. And I need to shade in 1/2. So if you look carefully, 4/8, 2/4 and 1/2 are the same fraction. They are equivalent fractions. Now let me have a look at this fraction. 9/12. I want to work out an equivalent fraction. What I can do is, let's say I can double or multiply the numerator by 2, and whatever I do to the top number or the numerator, I have to do to the denominator or the bottom number. So I need to multiply that by 2. So 9 times 2 is 18, and 12 times 2 is 24. Now what I have are 2 equivalent fractions. Now because I know both 9 and 12 are in the 3 times table, what I can do is divide the 9 by 3 and divide the 12 by 3. So 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. So what I can also say is 3/4 is equivalent to 9/12. So if you have a look, I can multiply to find an equivalent fraction, or if I know they're both in the same times table, I can divide to find an equivalent fraction. Now I want you to think about this number, 4/5. Now straight away I can divide the 4 by 2, and whatever I do to the top number I have to do to the bottom number. So I have to divide this by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 5 divided by 2, careful with this, is 2.5 or 2.5. So let me show you that here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 oranges and I need to share them between 2 people. There's A and there's B. So I'll tell you what, I'll give this orange to A. I'll give this orange to B. I'll give this orange to A. I'll give this orange to B. So now they've got 2 oranges each. I've got one left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this into 2. I'm going to give A half an orange. I'm going to give B half an orange. So now they both have 2.5 oranges each. And 2.5 is the same as 2.5. Now hold that thought. Let's go over here. Now this is not a real fraction because we've got a decimal in there. We've not got a whole number. We need a whole number in here. And the word I want you to learn is the word integer. This is a very important word. Now an integer is a whole number. It can be positive, it can be negative, or it can be 0. So please learn this. Back to this, 2 and 2.5. This is not a proper fraction because you've got a decimal number. So this number here we can't have. It's not a proper fraction. We can't divide our fractions where it's going to give a decimal point. They have to be whole numbers. Let me give you this number, 6/7. Okay, so what I'm going to do is try to divide the top number by 2, and whatever I do to the top number I have to do to the bottom number. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. And now we have to be careful with that because that's given a decimal. We can't do it this way. We can't divide the numerator and the denominator by 2. And in this case, we can't find an equivalent fraction by dividing. But we can go to the other side and multiply the numerator and the denominator by 2. Remember, these two have to be the same number. So 6 times 2 is 12. And 7 times 2 is 14. So what I can say is 12/14 is equivalent to 6/7. So we've looked at equivalent fractions or fractions that are equal in value. Now I want you to try these questions